Ford. Are you goofy?
No, they made a remake, and it was so depressing for us because that movie my dad made was just a superb film with the great Van Heflin and Felicia Farr. It was a classic, and of course nobody can write anymore, so they just reinvent the wheel, and they made another one, and it was very disappointing for me to.
Hey, Ford, listen to Conrad. I did a show called The Wild West, which is a classic.
Did they do a remake of that?
They did a remake of that with Will Smith.
Well, I don't know.
Are you listening to me, Ford? With Will Smith was playing me. and I went to France when that happened, and I took my daughter 11 years ago.
Yep.
And I took my daughter with me to escape the telephone. It wouldn't stop ringing.
I think the movie went to France too quickly.
I know what you're talking about. And I ran into Will, and he's a nice guy, and he was wonderful in that little sitcom he did, and he's a big movie star now, and he's got a beautiful wife, and I couldn't be happier for his success. But I ran into him, and I'm walking down the steps, and he's walking up in this restaurant, and we both freeze. And he looked at me and said, it was an interpretation. And I said to him, is that what you call it, an interpretation? And his wife said, I told you. And I said, I'll see you, Will. I'll see you around. And I went down the steps. It's a word-for-word true story. And, you know, I don't blame Will for doing it because all the other actors, I can't say all, but all the other actors turned it down. I know the list. And he saw, 7 figures. Is that what $1 million is?
Yeah, that's 8.
8. Well, that's what he saw. So as far as your dad's concerned, yeah, I mean, how dare they? Who did it? Tell me the names of these people that did
it. Well, it was Russell Crowe and Christian Bale and.
Wait a minute, it was Russell Crowe, okay,
right? And Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And it was in color, and of course, the one my father made in 57 was black and white, and it was a relationship. I mean, it was a tense drama that was played out with two characters who were opposed to each other, and there was a lot of intense drama between these two.
Peter,
the new one, all they did is just kill everybody.
Peter, I didn't see that movie because I wouldn't, but I saw the original, and you don't have to sell me. It was a classic and is a classic, and I'm an actor.
Right.
And I saw a performance there that was as good as it gets. And you're an actor, and you know the difference. And your mother was an actress. And enough about that book and those guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I have no interest in either one of those guys playing those roles. Are
there other books out about your dad, Peter?
No, Mike. This was the first one.
This is great.
Our dear friend, and I'm sure Bob knows her well, and sadly she's passed as well. But Anne Francis came over to the house, and about 2 years before Dad died, my father passed in 2006, and she said she knew the story, and she said you'd really got to write your father's biography. And I'm an only child, so I said, oh goodness, I said I'm a writer, but I'm not, I'm a short story kind of guy. But I gave it a go and. Took me 7 years, but it came out 2 months ago, but no, it's the only book ever written about my father, and he was, as Robert said, an incredible actor in many different genres of film, from noir to westerns to comedies. I mean, he could do it all, and I'm very, very proud of his great work that he's left.
Did you say 2 months ago the book came out?
Yes, May 12th.
All right, I'm grabbing that book. Right?
Me too.
Mike, I got short-term, how do you say it? Short-term memory loss.
I say short-term memory
No,
loss.
I got to tell you a story about me. So, incidentally, you don't know this, Peter, but I'm going to share it with you. You told me you knew Bill Ketching and Whitey and those other guys that we both knew. I knew. Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
I knew your father.
Well, you mentioned that in the beginning, and I'm not. What? Tell me the Glenn Ford story, Robert. Or can you tell it? Maybe it might be one of those that I should have been in the book.
Let me just say this to you: we're going into commercial at a appropriate time.
You were both good horsemen.
We were selected as the best.
As the best,
and
right?
I was honored to have been mentioned in that with him because he could ride a horse, man. And he was a Canadian, and he enlisted in the Marine Corps.
He did, yep.
2 months ago, this book came out, and folks, if you know anything about our business and what a great actor he was and is, if his work's still alive, you've got to go out and get this book.
Bookstores everywhere, Peter?
Yes, it's everywhere, and including in England. It's available in the UK as well.
Amazon.com, you can download it.
Yep.
It's called Glen Ford of Life.
Where are you going? We're going to keep him for another segment.
Okay, I just want to make sure we get
going?
it. We're right back with Peter Ford. Stay with us.